Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? Yes. We have a lot to talk about tonight, lots to get into. We are on the road. I'm on the road, so I'm not in the studio. And I was planning on just not doing a show for the rest of the week, which would have been ideal, to be honest. To not have to do a show for 3 days sounds like a vacation. Sounds like a privilege.
We have to hustle, man.
But I've been on the road for a while, and I figured I couldn't do that to you. So I'm going to be doing a show tonight, tomorrow, on the road. Thursday, I will be on InfoWars in the morning, and then I'll be back in the studio at night. So you get a show. You get basically a full week. We're going to be doing shows. This is the first time I've done a show on the road in, I think, almost 3 years. And I don't even know where to look. Am I looking in the camera right now? You have to tell me how it sounds because my audio might be messed up. But we're on the road. It's something about this camera. What is it about this MacBook camera? It's just doing things to me.
They're not the best. That's why they're not the best.
I feel like I do when I was in LA.
They're not
I look good on this camera. Why don't I look this good on my camera at home? I should do a show on the laptop all the time. Anyway, we got a great show for you tonight. Our featured story, we're going to be talking all about this group chat leak. And, look, it's not the biggest story ever, but it's a slow news day. The $100 a month club says I'm doing a great job. Thank you very much. Now stop tagging me, please. But our featured story, we're talking all about this young Republican group chat leak. It's a very slow news day, but it is sort of interesting because this is happening in the context of everybody talking about how cancel culture is over. And everyone recognizes we're in a new ecosystem right now, sort of unprecedented, new territory. And by that, I mean everybody is unbanned on Twitter. It seems that free speech is increasing, if it's not all the way restored, on Meta, Google, X. Mm-hmm. And cancel culture has certainly receded with the censorship. And I never thought I'd see it move in that direction ever. And so people have been talking a lot. There's been much said about how maybe we're in a post-cancel culture era. And there have been prominent examples of this. Big Balls, who was at the White House, and some of the crew that Elon Musk brought in for Doge, these guys got canceled. So there was an attempted cancellation for things they had said on the internet.
Make sure you guys subscribe.
And it seemed that there was an intercession almost from Musk, Vance, other elements inside the administration to prevent them from being fired. And ordinarily, that's how it works. Is a Republican group chat leaks, an old Twitter alt gets found, somebody is saying something they shouldn't be saying, and they lose their job. It's a scalp. Mm-hmm. It gets aired out in Washington Post or Politico or The Hill or whatever, Daily Beast. And traditionally, this is how it works, and then those people get their lives destroyed, reputations ruined, terminated from their jobs. And that seems now to be changing. And like I said, those are a couple of prominent examples of some of the Doge kids. Now we have another instance of this, and we're kind of charting a new course here, figuring out as we go along. Some young Republicans are in a group chat. They call them YRs. And it's kind of stupid because, I don't even know how young these guys are. I mean, young Republicans now are like 45 years old. You have like 40-year-old men like Matt Kipta are calling themselves young Republicans. I don't even know what that means anymore. The guy's fucking 39 or something. But in any case, they're in a group chat and hundreds of messages leak, and it's a right-wing group chat. So it's exactly what you would expect. And what's interesting now is that it seems like a lot of people are disavowing them. The Young Republican Club disavowed them. They may be fired from their jobs. But other people, surprisingly, are now defending them, including prominently Matt Walsh, J.D. Vance, among others. Excuse me. And so it looks like this is yet another watershed moment, or you could say a potential data point in this new free speech ecosystem. So that's why it's somewhat relevant. We'll talk.
Well, the thing is that this is not 2012 anymore. Probably the peak, 2020? If you said something like that, they're probably gonna the cancel culture will probably just go and just make your life a hellhole, but not today. Yeah, I'm just a conservative. Me too. I'm just a conservative myself as well. This, when it comes down to this type of stuff, this is all a trap just to make sure they can make you guilty. And to make sure you're not focused on the real issue. Notice it was a text with the Democrat candidate running in Virginia for the Attorney General, Jones. He literally just wants to delete people. So they want you to bow down when something is found on your side, and you're supposed to just be the good guy and just disavow it. It's just a trap. Personally, I think it's just a trap.
little bit about the scandal tonight. We'll read through some of
them. And to be honest, it was not a big deal. Like, they were just basically just throwing jokes and stuff like that. It was not a big deal.
It was sad. It's pretty funny, actually. I feel like my group chat is far worse, though. If my group chat ever leaks, it's over for me.
Yeah, Twitter is much worse. Twitter is much worse.
You know, you think what I say on
Twitter, bro? Twitter is getting like, people are throwing the N-word, and you know, you have coffee beans and snowman just going at each other. You know, it's crazy. And then you have the jewelries out there, you know, trying to be crazy too.
The show is bad. You know, it's not great in the group chat. But anyway, so we'll read through the Politico article, some pretty good stuff. We'll talk about the reaction. Have to say, I've been pleasantly surprised from Vance. And you know, Vance is my number one op, and I have major problems with him. But he has been remarkably consistent on this across the board. For me, when I was banned on Twitter, he defended me. For Big Balls or whoever it was in that. I don't think it was Big Balls. It was another one of those guys. His name starts with a K. I forget it. But he defended that guy when he got canceled. And now he's defending these young Republicans. And I never thought I'd see it ever. But Republicans are finally learning to play the whatabout game, the whataboutism game. And I think that's absolutely overdue. And of course, I'm referring to the fact that a month ago you had people celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. You've got Democrats running for office that want to like kill Republicans.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And apparently that's fine. But then a Republican group chat gets leaked, and it's young white kids. They're being controversial, and then they're going to get hanged. They're going to get their lives destroyed. Why would we play along with that? We're in power. They should not be fired. We'll also talk about Gavin Wax's role in it. I've heard some rumors that he was responsible for the leak, and I guess it's like some young Republican nonsense. It's like young Republicans fighting over committee seats and total, utter nonsense, basically like adult Model UN bullshit. And so supposedly Gavin Wax orchestrated the leak to damage some guy who took his committee assignment. And, you know, fuck all these people, and especially Gavin Wax. And I told a lot of people, nobody that's involved, none of these guys were Groypers. I mean, I don't know these guys, but, you know, they're influenced by the Groypers. Everybody's influenced by Groypers under the age of 30. But I told some other people that I know that are peripherally connected to it, I said, dude, serves you right. Gavin Wax is hanging out with his Jewish grandma with Chuck Schumer commemorating the Holocaust, and everybody was telling me for years how based he was. And then he goes and sells out the group chat to, like, get back at some young Republican guy because they lost the student council president election.
Some of these young people, they're not understanding the long game, man. They're not understanding the long game, and they start doing stuff like this, leaking chat, leaking conversations. Like, you should not be doing this. You should be thinking more. Of course, don't be dumb. Don't be out there just saying stupid stuff like this, right? Don't make this thing worse, right? But think about the long goal. Think about what we need to do to make sure we can preserve the country. And I do believe that a lot of these people are just there for their own agendas. We should not be out of focus like this. And I'm glad that the Israel and Hamas thing hopefully will come to an end for a little bit, because we need to focus on home.
It's totally ridiculous.
It comes down to illegal migration.
Anyways, we'll talk all about that. I'll tell you what I know about it. We're also going to talk tonight about Trump's announcement on the Gaza peace plan. Not good. And we covered the Gaza peace plan, I think, on Friday or Thursday. I don't remember exactly when we did a show covering the whole deal, but as you know, I'm not optimistic about the deal. I'm glad that people are no longer dying for now, and I'm glad that it's a gesture towards peace. But as I said last week, it does not resolve the root causes of the conflict. And this is why the conflict has been simmering for decades, for generations, and it's sporadically that it will boil over. And then it goes back to its state of simmering, but it's never fully resolved. And I think that is all the peace plan does, is it just defers this part of the conflict to a later date. I think that what most likely will happen is that Israel will shift its attention to Iran and decisively confront Iran soon, and then probably revisit Gaza within a year.
Probably. Yeah.
And I think that's the most likely outcome. I seriously doubt that this plan has the specificity, the details. I don't know that Trump has the focus or willpower to follow through on it. I don't think Netanyahu has abandoned any of his goals that have been articulated, for decades, but especially ever since the war in Gaza began. That being said, the reason I suspect this is because inside the deal, the 20-point plan, some of the points have been agreed upon. The hostage prisoner exchange, ceasefire, the withdrawal of Israeli forces to a certain periphery inside of Gaza. But the most important things, there is no agreement. And among those things are the disarmament of Hamas. Israel started the war. They didn't start the war, but their strategic objectives in the war, I should say, were to demilitarize Gaza and specifically to remove Hamas from power, which means disarming them and then expelling them or eradicating them and ensuring that they have no future in the governance of Gaza, or really no presence in Gaza at all, and certainly not with weapons. And I heard some reports last week that Hamas had agreed to lay down their arms. I don't believe that's verified, though, or under what conditions. And so anyway, the big news today, that Trump comes out today during some ceremony and says, well, Hamas said they would lay down their arms. He said, but if they don't, I will disarm them violently.
Yeah, but here's where I disagree with him. And I've seen both sides of the equation, right? Hamas is not a good guy. I don't know why we keep defending this guy. He's not a good guy. We have multiple videos in the last 48 hours. Him deleting his own people. Like at some point, we don't have to choose a side on this. We don't have to choose a side. I think it's more important for us to just get out of Israel and get out of Hamas. We don't have to just pretend that because we don't like Israel, we have to defend Hamas. We don't have to. Those people are not congruent to us. They're not allies. They don't want us. They hate us. We don't have to pretend that we have to like them.
And so what does that mean? So now is the United States going to invade Gaza? We're going to now bomb Hamas ourselves? And I don't know how likely any of that is. It could be rhetoric. It could be a throwaway statement, but I don't like it. And I don't like anything about the deal. I don't like that there are 300 American personnel in Israel. There's 100 operating the two THAAD weapon systems. 200 more have been deployed to oversee the logistics of the prisoner exchange. I don't like that there are Americans there. I don't like that we now own this because Trump has intervened. And I don't like the threat, even if it's an idle threat, even if it's, like I said, a throwaway remark. If that's...
Jackass Whiskey says, super chat, I like Israel. They have a kick-ass military. Yeah, and I understand the... Listen, I prefer... some of you guys might not like me, but I prefer Israel as an ally. Strategically, they're more close to the Western culture, Western society, right? But I do understand why a lot of people don't want to be there. And I do understand that. But to pretend that by not liking Israel, we have to now move and just like Hamas and Palestine, which we clearly know these people don't like us, it's just delusional as well. It's not thinking clearly.
His typical so much, gunboat diplomacy, the kind of madman theory, whatever you want to call it. I don't like it. So we'll talk about that too, as in the Washington Post. Should be a pretty good show. Before we get into it, I want to remind you to smash the follow button, smash the like button, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the show. What else? Yeah, not much else. Kind of a slow day. I'm traveling. How do I look? I feel like I look good. I feel like this camera really, it makes my face look thinner. It makes me look whiter. Makes my eyes look greener. So I don't know if you agree. Anyway, I'm literally looking at, usually I look at the Google Docs. I'm looking at myself right now. That's why I'm getting carried away. But we're going to move on. We're going to get into the news. This will probably be a relatively shorter show. But we're going to get into our first story. We'll talk about this Politico article. I'm going to pull it up and we'll read through it. Like I said, this is from a young, and I don't know all the details. I don't know any of the people involved. I don't know the inside baseball here. I have a general idea of it. You have this group chat of YRs, young Republicans, and I guess it's just a typical conservative group chat. These are under 30, age under 30, young white men, very conservative, and it's exactly what you'd expect. Very explicit, very racial, very provocative. Somebody leaks the group chat to Politico, and they put it out, they blast everybody in it, and now they're calling for everybody to get fired. So this is a story from Politico. It says, quote, leaders of young Republican groups throughout the country worried what would happen if their Telegram chat ever got leaked, but they kept typing anyway. They referred to black people as monkeys and the watermelon people, and mused about putting their opponents in gas chambers. They talked about raping their enemies.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Who would ever do such a thing? Who would ever say such a thing? That's terrible. Imagine, I'm appalled, actually. Driving them to suicide, they lauded Republicans who they believe support slavery. William, what I'm talking about, like,
yeah, we're gonna move it a little bit forward because what he's mentioning is kind of
everyone's a groiper now. I don't even know these people. I've never met these people, and yet.
All right, Chaka Wisi said, the super chat, I don't like the political leaning of Israel. They're very socialistic. Yeah, very socialistic and very liberal. Very liberal. When it comes down to political, I learned this a couple of days ago. Happens to be that, I think, I might be wrong here, but Israel government is secular. It's not orthodox. It's not orthodox. Which made things very interesting. You open up a can of worms, meaning that now you understand why they're very progressive in their own country, which is weird.
And I don't know that they identify as groypers. I don't believe they talked about me. If they did, I'm sure it'd be in here. But it just goes to show this is the mood of my generation. This is the mood. This is the zeitgeist of the under 25, under 30 crowd, especially for white men. It's just where they are. Anyway, it goes on. It says, he continued, I'm going to create some of the greatest physiological torture methods known to man. We only want true believers. Did I write this? And was I in the group chat? And so these are some of the screenshots. Well, it just reiterates what was already reported here. Joe Molino previously identified himself as the general counsel for New York State Young Republicans, wrote, can we fix the showers? Gas chambers.
Oh, yeah, that's the part I'm going to move a little forward.
When they think no one is listening. And it goes on like this. They've been disavowed. It says prominent New York Republicans, including Elise Stefanik and State Senate Minority Leader Rob Ort, denounced the chat. Festering resentment among young Republicans have now turned into public recriminations, including allegations of character assassination and extortion. And here's basically the story of how this came about. So I guess there was a beef between Gavin Wax and the guy who ran the group chat. Gavin Wax and this guy, Peter Junta, whatever his name is, they had some beef because I guess this guy Peter got this committee chair position, and Gavin believed that he was passed over or usurped or screwed over. And so supposedly, this is a story, supposedly Gavin Wax leaned on, this is what is being alleged, somebody who was in the group chat working for his rival, Peter, and got this guy to send him the chat logs.